Every author dreams of captivating readers, immersing them in a story so engaging they lose track of time. Yet, not every book achieves this. Sometimes, a novel fails to resonate with its intended audience, leaving readers disinterested, frustrated, or even unwilling to finish the book. If you're an author, facing such rejection can feel discouraging. However, it's also an opportunity to grow and refine your storytelling craft. Understanding why readers might not like your novel is the first step toward improvement. In this video, we'll examine the most common reasons a book might miss the mark and explore actionable solutions to fix these issues. 1. Weak or unrelatable characters. Characters are the heart of your novel. They are the vehicle through which readers experience the story. So if they fail to connect with your characters, the story itself will feel hollow. Why this happens? One-dimensional personalities. A character who is too perfect, too evil, or too predictable lacks the depth needed to captivate readers. Unrealistic behavior. Characters acting out of sync with their established motivations or emotions. Absence of diversity, a lack of varied experiences, voices, or backgrounds can make characters feel repetitive or uninspired. In-depth fixes. Craft layered characters. Explore your character's fears, dreams, strengths, and flaws. For instance, a brave protagonist might secretly fear failure, adding complexity to their heroism. Introduce relatable conflicts. Make sure characters face internal struggles that mirror real-life dilemmas, like grappling with guilt, loss, or self-doubt. Make dialogue meaningful. Dialogue should serve multiple purposes, developing character, advancing the plot, and adding authenticity. If your protagonist is sarcastic, their humor should come across naturally in their speech. Example, consider Elizabeth Bennet in Pride and Prejudice. She is witty, flawed, and layered, making her relatable to readers across generations. 2. A bland or predictable plot. The best plots strike a balance between familiarity and surprise, creating a sense of anticipation without falling into cliches. When a story is too predictable or lacks tension, readers might disengage. Why this happens? Cliched tropes, using overdone elements, like the chosen one narrative, without a unique twist. Convenient resolutions, conflicts that resolve too easily or rely on deus ex machina endings. Stale premise, a story that doesn't stand out from others in its genre. In-depth fixes, create dynamic stakes. Ask yourself what your protagonist stands to lose at every stage of the story. If the stakes are personal and escalating, readers will remain invested. Add subplots. Introduce secondary storylines that enrich the main plot and add layers to the narrative. For example, a romance subplot can add tension to a mystery novel. Use twists effectively. Surprises should feel inevitable in hindsight. Plant subtle clues early so the twist doesn't feel unearned. Example, in Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, the narrative constantly subverts reader expectations while remaining tightly plotted, keeping the audience guessing until the end. 3. Poor pacing. Pacing is the rhythm of your story, guiding how fast or slow events unfold. An unevenly paced novel can either bore readers with excessive exposition or overwhelm them with relentless action. Why this happens? Too much world building. In fantasy and sci-fi, authors often spend pages detailing the world at the expense of advancing the plot. Underdeveloped scenes, key emotional moments, or climactic events are rushed. Repetitive scenes, over-explaining or revisiting the same conflicts unnecessarily. In-depth fixes. Alternate tension and relief. Follow high-stakes moments with quieter scenes to allow readers to catch their breath. For instance, after a dramatic battle, let your characters regroup and reflect. Streamline transitions. Ensure smooth shifts between scenes by using clear transitions, such as time jumps or character perspective changes. Beta readers for feedback. Ask test readers to identify areas where the story drags or moves too quickly. Example, in The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, the pacing is masterfully balanced, with action-packed sequences followed by moments of introspection and character bonding. 4. Unpolished writing. Even the most compelling story can suffer if the prose is awkward, unclear, or riddled with technical issues. Poor writing distracts readers and pulls them out of the story. Why this happens? Lack of editing. First drafts are rarely perfect. Skipping the revision process can leave glaring errors. Overly complex sentences. Writing that prioritizes style over clarity can confuse readers. Too much telling over showing. Telling the reader everything, rather than showing through action or dialogue, can make the narrative feel flat. In-depth fixes. Embrace revisions. Set your manuscript aside for a few weeks, then revisit it with fresh eyes. This distance will help you spot clunky sentences or inconsistencies. Focus on clarity, Aim for prose that is vivid yet accessible. For example, instead of saying she was sad, write, tears welled up in her eyes as she clutched the letter. Use critique partners. Join a writing group or exchange work with trusted peers for honest feedback. Example, consider J.K. Rowling's ability to balance clarity and creativity in the Harry Potter series. Her writing remains accessible to younger readers while maintaining a whimsical tone. 5. No emotional connection. Readers want to feel something when they read a novel, whether it's joy, heartbreak, fear, or excitement. Without emotional resonance, even the most action-packed story can feel hollow. Why this happens? Surface-level emotions. Characters fail to convey their feelings convincingly. Impersonal stakes. Conflicts don't impact the characters on a deep, personal level. Over-reliance on plot. A focus on events over emotional depth can leave readers detached. In-depth fixes. Highlight internal conflict. Show how external challenges affect the protagonist's inner world. For example, a hero saving their city might also be grappling with feelings of inadequacy. Add emotional beats. Slow down pivotal moments to explore what your characters are feeling. Let readers linger in their triumphs and sorrows. Use universal themes. Draw on experiences and emotions that resonate widely, such as love, betrayal, or redemption. Example, in Atonement by Ian McEwan, the emotional devastation caused by misunderstandings and regret leaves a lasting impact on readers. 6. Lack of originality. Readers crave stories that surprise and challenge them. If your novel feels like a rehash of existing works, it may fail to leave a lasting impression. Why this happens? Overused tropes. Leaning too heavily on popular trends or cliches. Failure to innovate, not offering a new perspective or twist on familiar ideas. In-depth fixes. Draw from unique sources, look to history, personal experiences, or obscure cultural elements for inspiration. Combine unexpected elements. Pair familiar tropes with unconventional settings or genres. For example, a detective story set in a post-apocalyptic world. Push boundaries. Challenge genre conventions and take risks with your storytelling. Example, The Night Circus by Aaron Morgenstern breathes new life into the fantasy genre with its lush, dreamlike atmosphere and unique premise. 7. Unsatisfying ending. A novel's ending leaves the final impression on readers. An abrupt, predictable, or overly ambiguous conclusion can ruin an otherwise great story. Why this happens? Rushing the climax, skimming over critical resolutions or emotional payoffs. Overcomplicating the ending, trying to tie up every loose end in a convoluted way. Lack of thematic closure, failing to resolve the story's core themes or conflicts. In-depth fixes. Foreshadow resolutions. Drop hints throughout the story that set up the ending. Reflect on themes. Ensure the ending ties back to the central message or moral of the story. Test multiple drafts. Write several versions of your ending and gather feedback to determine which resonates most. Example, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee ends on a reflective and satisfying note, encapsulating the novel's themes of justice and empathy. 8. Ignoring reader expectations. Understanding what readers expect from your genre is critical. While innovation is welcome, straying too far from conventions can alienate your audience. Why this happens? Genre misalignment. Promising one type of story but delivering another. Mismatched tone, switching between lighthearted and serious without reason. In-depth fixes. Research your genre. Familiarize yourself with successful novels in your niche. Understand what readers love and expect. Manage expectations. Use your blurb, cover, and marketing to accurately represent your story's tone and content. Balance innovation and tradition. Offer fresh ideas while respecting the core elements of your genre. Example, The Martian by Andy Weir balances the hard science of its genre with humor and humanity, meeting and exceeding reader expectations. Final thoughts. Writing a novel is a monumental task, and ensuring it resonates with readers requires attention to every aspect from character development to plot pacing and emotional impact. By addressing these common pitfalls, you can transform a novel that misses the mark into a story that captivates and inspires. Remember, criticism is not the end, it's a stepping stone to becoming a better writer. Keep learning, revising, and trusting in your ability to grow. The next masterpiece is just a draft away. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and see you all in the next video.